Ladies and gents, I finally got it. I finally got it after a week of grinding the Drang roll that I've always wanted. And of course, it's not the craftable version because holy donkey dick, my deep sight luck is awful. I'm sad. I'm sad. Oh, I got the roll. Oh, I got the roll though. Oh, I got the roll though. Oh, that's the one I wanted. Regardless, I've been wanting to make this video for so long, and since the last weapon review I made did so well, which by the way, thank you guys so much, I figured I'd give in to the demand and continue making them. So before jumping into it, if you guys are looking for a channel that's run by a ginger and is dedicated to Destiny's PvE in every which way imaginable, then hit that sub button to stick around for future uploads, and without further ado, let's jump into this. Now, you guys know that it's literally no secret that I am a professional sidearm hater on this channel, and sidearm enjoyers have been punching air season after season every single time they hear me dog on their favorite weapon type in my god roll guides. But let me tell you, Drang is completely different from the rest, and is quite literally the best sidearm in the game hands down, and in today's video, I hope to get my point across and recruit some more disciples for this godlike piece of weaponry. Of course, I can't do that just yet without telling you guys how to get your hands on it, so let's go over that right quick. Farming Drang, or any of the other opulent weapons for that matter, is probably the most boring thing I've ever done in the season. Ever. Essentially, just get Figments of Darkness by doing your seasonal challenges and grinding rep to access the proper upgrades at the helm, and from there you'll be able to unlock umbral focusing for opulent weapons, and with further upgrades even guarantee a deep sight drop at the beginning of every week to help get yourself a crafted one. Focusing these engrams is going to cost umbral energy, which you can get by running Nightmare Containment, turning in Bound Presence in the Sever mission, as well as opening chests with opulent keys on the Leviathan, which will also drop opulent weapons, and in turn, Drangs. Now, assuming you're going to go the crafting route for Drang, as there really isn't a reason not to, instead of recommending just the main column perks here, here's going to be a breakdown of what my 5 out of 5 roll is going to look like. With this being a sidearm and all, a low range stat is pretty much a given on this thing, so when taking a look at the stat boost and the barrel, I'm going to recommend going full on range here. So go with a range masterwork combined with hammer force as your barrel to bring the range up from a measly 35 to a GigaChad 55. Next, moving on to the magazine, either Tac Mag or Flared Magwell will do you well here. Tac Mag is if you want a decent reload bonus with an extra bullet or two, or Flared Magwell if you don't mind the bullet count and just want a full send on that reload stat to get an extra 5. And finally, moving on over to the main column perks, the only combination you're going to want here, and this is the combination that makes Drang worth using in the first place, so I don't recommend much else, is going to be Wellspring combined with Incandescent. Obviously, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that it's very rare that weapons will roll with Wellspring in that first column, freeing up the second column to be dedicated to a damage perk. But not only is that happening here on Drang, the perk that it gets in that second column is Incandescent of all things, which in turn has nasty synergy with Wellspring. Incandescent is what I'd argue as an essential building block when it comes to build crafting with Solar 3.0, and a lot of these builds require a wide variety of ability usage to pull off, whereas grenades are the main squeeze of Void 3.0 because of volatile rounds. Pretty much every ability in your Solar 3.0 kit has almost essential usage, and Wellspring is going to ensure that you're set on keeping that ability energy up at all times. No other sidearm even comes close to offering this level of synergy when used along a matching subclass. We have sidearms like the Void Seraph Sidearm, which can roll Demo Surrounded, as well as the Stasis Peace Bond, which can get Subsistence Headstone, but neither of these weapons feature a perk that's quite on the caliber of Incandescent, let alone featuring something as powerful as Wellspring alongside it. Now, I know I've done nothing but gas Drang up thus far, but I think it's time to talk about its negatives, of which there is only one, but it's pretty massive. Bungie, I think it's time we talk about the muzzle flash on this thing, because holy shit, I can feel my eyes melting as we speak. On a serious note, now that we've talked about how to farm this weapon out, what its god roll is, and why it's so special, let's talk about some build crafting basics so that you can try to get the most out of this weapon. Firstly, one of the things that make Drang as powerful as it is right now is of course the seasonal mods that we have during Haunted. Taking a look, there's 3 that actually have some disgusting synergy with Drang, with the first 2 of those being the combination of Rays of Precision and Solar Fulmination. Rays will cause enemies to ignite after a headshot while you're radiant, and Fulmination is going to make those ignitions even bigger. The third seasonal mod of this group is called Flame Harvesting, which says that solar exotic final blows will create solar elemental wells, and you're probably asking yourself, what do you mean? Drang is a legendary, isn't it? And while you're not wrong, the synergy that Drang has with its exotic counterpart 𝗏𝗏 causes this weapon to be listed as an exotic due to its Together Forever intrinsic trait. This means that while using Drang in the Flame Harvesting mod, you essentially just have an unlimited supply of elemental wells just by using the weapon normally. Now, despite liking the Flame Harvesting mod, I personally have been using a lot of the Rays of Precision and Solar Fulmination combo, as big explosions make me big happy. And if you want to play into this playstyle to the best of your abilities, this is what my usual setup is going to look like regardless of what class I'm playing. Of course, I'm going to be rocking my Wellspring Incandescent Drang alongside those 2 mods on my class item, so taking a look at the subclass fragments, I recommend running Ember of Torches to make you radiant on melee ability hits. This is most easily done on a Titan since they can pick their hammer up after throwing it, but remember we have Wellspring on Drang, so if you're not using a Titan, melee ability energy is already taken care of. Then alongside Torches, combine that with Empyrean, which will extend the duration of Radiant as long as you're getting solar weapon kills to ensure that you don't get caught with your pants down and run out of Radiant before your melee's back up. After this, I like to run Ember of Ashes for more scorch stacks on things like our incandescent explosions and ignitions, as well as Ember of Eruption to make those ignitions even bigger on top of our already slotted seasonal mod. Now, that's a pretty basic breakdown as far as builds go, and obviously you can go much further with slotting exotic armor pieces and different mods. For Titans, as far as exotics go, I usually use 𝗨𝗟𝗟 or Path of the Burning Steps, which Burning Steps works perfectly with Drang because it's basically giving it Rampage, just a regular damage bonus, on top of it already having the perks that it has. Warlock, I normally run something like Dawn Chorus for the extra scorch damage and melee energy, and for Hunter, you're pretty open-ended for exotics, but I've been enjoying Caliban's Hand the most for proxy knife builds. No matter what class or build you go with, Drang is going to hit like an absolute monster in just about any content you decide to use it in. A lot of this is due in part to the seasonal mods just being so strong, but I swapped the gameplay over to me not using any seasonal mods, and you'll see that Drang is still incredible despite me not using any of them. Drang is most definitely the best sidearm for PvE in Destiny this season due to those seasonal mods being so strong, but I'd argue that even without them, Drang continues to shine above the rest as the definitive sidearm in the game right now as far as legendaries are concerned, and I don't think that any other weapon in the game comes close to even touching it in that weapon category. But what do you guys think? Have y'all already been on the Drang train, or are you just now beginning to go out and look for some deep sight drops to craft your own? I've been wanting to make this video for a super long time now, but I haven't been able to due to my RNG just being incredibly bad, but I hope you all enjoyed this late video regardless. But thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end of the review, and just a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters as well for showing so much love over there and supporting the content. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.